into winners finals is a big deal for both Defiant and Boltstruck, and then we're going to be seeing that matchup happen right now as Defiant is actually going to switch over to the Hyde instead of sticking to the Londrakia to tackle Boltstruck. Alright, looks like Defiant going to Hyde for the more comfort pick. Defiant used to be a Hyde main as well, so of course, just going to be very solid with this character. And this is actually going to be a bit of a rematch between these two players as well, because if I remember correctly, Defiant and Boltstruck played against each other 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure they played each other a lot beforehand as well, whether it's TNS or past Aegis esports events. And Boltstruck actually has been starting to get that edge more and more against Defiant. So Defiant looking to turn things around and hoping to at least secure their winner's side grand final spot so that they have a better chance to beat Boltstruck here tonight.
Yeah, and understand both players are very low. Defiant going to have the advantage using IW here just to try and cement a huge advantage, huge gain. Does go down with the meter, and this confirm might have to force spending, but can be a kill confirmed for sure. There it is. No, it whips.
Wait, that's a massive jump. But Boltstruck knows, recognizing the situation, staying as calm as ever, but the counter hit. Defiant, given a gift from God, allowed to live one more time, and is making the most out of it, taking the first round of game number 1 after an unfortunate drop from Boltstruck. And now Boltstruck has no meter to get any real edge here in this second round, as Defiant is pushing Boltstruck closer to the corner. This is where the lockout game from Hyde truly starts to shine, and that's a big hit, and that's going to be leading to great damage for a character like Hyde.
Yeah, definitely using the protagonist powers in full swing. Has over 50% life advantage. The veil off going to end here. This pressure, it don't stop at all. Gets the counter hit. Perfect stagger pressure from Defiant. And that'll leave Boltstruck with one last guess. Never mind, 100 meter was built.
Yeah, just barely at the tail end of that combo, and immediately Defiant putting that meter to good use, taking the first game over Boltstruck here in winners finals. But remember, it is a 1-3, so while Defiant does have that first game lead, Boltstruck still has plenty of room to not be as stressed as you would be normally. Here we go, game number 2 between these two players. Defiant still sticking to the Hyde, believing in the character. They won that first game, so clearly something is working well with this character as opposed to Londrakia from before.
Yeah, absolutely. Throwing out a little bit of these projectiles. Trying to say, Boltstruck, I know you're a disc enjoyer, but hold D.
Hold my own disc.
Yeah.
My cylinder, my plate.
Oh, wow. Boltstruck finding the way out of the corner. But that's not enough in order to stop Defiant from just running pressure. Finally finding a good counter hit. Question is, can Boltstruck continue pressure going?
Oh, the PO bait. Boltstruck is going to be ticking that timer down for Defiant, draining away all of that meter, setting up the disc. Defiant going to get hit, caught not blocking in Detroit, and that's going to be a round for Boltstruck, game number 2.
I think we're going to be ready to strap in for a long one.
Yeah, potentially. Boltstruck once again tracking very strong.
Good tag. Oh, unfortunately got right into the counter hit, pressing a little bit too early. That's going to allow Defiant in order to get a reset on the corner pressure.
That should be it. We have the resources to kill here. And Defiant doesn't even need to spend it. DP to finish the combo.
Can you imagine just knowing that you could spend IW at any point, but I'm just going to get a 4,700 damage combo completely meterless? That is power.
It absolutely is. Speaking of power, both players with cool resources on hand. Defiant already spending it early with that metered fireball, and we'll be using that plus frames and the corner carry along with it to bring Boltstruck closer and closer to the corner, but it looks like Defiant was the one to be put in the corner instead, and Boltstruck able to find a hit of their own, and with even more resources to boot as well, spending the slide, putting them into a perfect range to set the fireball, but Defiant catching that approach and stuffing it out into the IW. Lots of damage on the table. Boltstruck still alive and kicking. DP on wake up.
That IW from Defiant was allowed them to steal away the grid cycle that looked one for Boltstruck. And I think that sealed the deal. Because getting the grid cycle being one, having Vorpal online allowed that chain shift. And ultimately won game number 2. Now it's taking Defiant to a potential 3-0 to move on to Grands.
We'll see exactly how this turns out if Defiant is playing as well as they did in game number 2, especially. I think a game number 3 is possible. But we saw Boltstruck come very close at certain points in certain rounds, whether it's the first round of game number 2 or it was the final round of game number 1, which ended in that tragic drop. So we could potentially see Boltstruck take a few rounds and maybe take some games here and there against Defiant, looking to take a set. You know, you can take a round, you can take a game, you can take a game, you can take a set, and Boltstruck is looking to take this game right here with full resources on the table, and once again, doesn't need to spend it into the chain shift. Probably going to spend that EX skill to get the refund, but doesn't even need to refund anything.
Yeah, it definitely looked a lot, because there was the interaction where Boltstruck threw out the disc, ran up, was ready for Defiant to press right in. Just like clockwork. Now Boltstruck is looking like the download is complete. These adaptations have been made. Ball is starting to get thrown into Defiant's court. Oh, are you going to get reverse swept?
Dive kick coming down, catching Defiant on the approach, using that fireball as a wall. No, not today. Not when the Nanase has meter.
So confident that 2A has meter to back up as well. Just quick IW.
Slide it into the overhead, change it to keep it safe and to increase the mix-up potential afterwards. And that will be the mix-up landing. Boltstruck taking the game, preventing Defiant from getting that clean 3-0 sweep as they take a game of their own, bringing the score down to 2-1. Boltstruck still needs to win 2 more games in a row, but now they took that first game, I think things are finally starting to happen and starting to work towards Boltstruck's favor.
Yeah, but Defiant does have a good amount of time as well in order to counter that, get used to Boltstruck looking like night and day, almost as if the big brother got put on the controller. But this is just Boltstruck in pure form. Defiant starting it off a whole lot better.
The punish on the throw tech attempt, setting up the fireball for the frame trap. The grid break as well. Boltstruck looking to take Celestial. So much meter. So much damage potential.
And
constantly going for these throws. Finally, Defiant starting to tech more and more.
Defiant notably not trying to shield
great
out.
blocks on these overheads, trying to go for the DP, trying to expect Defiant to go for a press mash button. Defiant waiting that out, finding an opportunity later on.
At last, C special didn't quite connect, but I mean the spacing just worked beautifully for Defiant still afterwards. And there it is, counter hit. And does spend just to ensure no drops here.
Defiant back on set point over to Boltstruck. And this time Boltstruck doesn't have the luxury of having that first round won. So needs to win 2 rounds in a row here to take this set, or take this game at least.
Boltstruck finding a hit, has quite a lot of grid. Definitely be able to loop the cycle. There we go, gets the loop, but with Defiant in the driver's seat, things can change at the drop of a hat.
And the screen combo here, invalid combo, but it doesn't care. We take that damage regardless. Boltstruck looking to take one more hit away from Defiant. One last chunk of health remaining. 2A, 2B. Counter hit 5A. Or 5B. Yeah, that was counter hit 5B. Regardless, that's dead.
Yo.
Straight into the IWEX. That's going to be the set. 3-1 in Defy's favor.
Good
Up
stuff.
into winner side grand finals.